I was a late bloomer in every area of my life. I feel like I've just been late to every single party. I'm at a point on my journey where I am making decisions for my happiness that don't make sense to anybody else around me.
Okay, y'all, I'm 30. And it feels so crazy saying that, but I kind of want to talk about how I feel, okay? I did a similar video last year right before I turned 29. Well, it's kind of similar. I was talking about being a late bloomer and being 29 and not experiencing those things. And I kind of want to give you guys an update. But before that, I want to say some of y'all are really funny because that video went a little viral and I got so many DMs. Most of them were encouraging and very nice, but some of y'all are so rude. I got so many DMs of people being like, oh my God, I hope I don't end up like you, girl. And I realized that they weren't trying to be rude, but like, why would you say that? And then I got like a lot of other messages of people being like, girl, I'm in the same boat. I'm this age and I haven't been in a relationship and I'm this age. And it was very encouraging for the most part, but some of y'all are rude. But since that video, which you can find like all the way back down on my page, I don't know, it's somewhere. Since that video, I've been on a first and second date. I've talked to several people, but all of that fizzled out. The first date was not great. I'm gonna be honest. The second date was actually really nice. It was actually the second date was a virtual date because we didn't live in the same state, but I don't know if y'all count that, but I do because it was really nice. He planned the activity, he planned the date, he planned the time. It was fun. But yeah, that's kind of an update there. Feelings wise, I talked about it in the first video a little bit, but like feelings wise now, I just have been at a place where it's like, of course I'm a human and all humans, I feel like desire companionship, desire to have a partner, all this stuff. But like, I'm also in a place of just like, it is what it is. I can't come and kill myself. Like, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Like, I would hate to find myself in this position that I hoped for, in the future. And then I look back and all I did was worry and was anxious. Like, I need to just enjoy life while I can enjoy life up until that point, because, I've talked to so many people and so many married people and so many people in relationships. They always be like, I wish I would appreciated my singleness, yada, yada, yada. Like, sometimes I'd be like, okay, you're just saying that. Because I feel like sometimes people do be just saying that. But like, also, I know there's some legitimateness to that. And so it is what it is. That's kind of how I feel. Like, it's going to happen when it's going to happen. And being anxious and worrying is not going to make it happen any faster. Another thing I want to say was like, a lot of comments were just like, basically like, what's wrong with you? Or have you tried this? Y'all, I have been shy since I'm not as shy anymore, but I was shy since I was like a little kid, and most of my adult life I was very shy. And I just feel like that more than likely, or probably, was one of the reasons I probably didn't create the atmosphere of like wanting to be approached, because I would literally like avoid eye contact with people or like try not to talk to people because I just felt like I just had anxiety talking to people and like was super shy. But I feel like as I've become less shy, become more comfortable with myself, I get approached more. And that's just like, I don't know, that's just one thing I've noticed. Also, another thing is I'm a bigger girl and I'm very realistic. I know that bigger girls are not a lot of people's types. And so I'm very realistic with myself. Like, I know that's also probably one of the reasons. And I was much bigger, maybe 2-3 years ago. I've lost 60 pounds since then. But I'm not ignorant to the fact that I'm a bigger girl and people don't always have that preference, and that's fine. Like, I have never been one to like try to convince somebody to be attracted to me, because like, why would I want to convince somebody to be attracted to me? That doesn't make any sense. But people have preferences. I have my own preferences. I have what I like. So like, yeah, that's probably also another reason. And look, I totally believe that there is somebody out there for everyone. I have seen the craziest people personality wise have significant others, or people that people probably wouldn't consider the most conventionally attractive have significant others. Like, there's somebody out there for everyone. There's somebody that will find you attractive. There's somebody that will find me attractive. Yeah, I can only do what I feel like makes me look best. But other than that, I can't stress myself out. People have also asked if I've tried dating apps, and baby, look, I'm on Hinge, okay? I'm a habitual Hinge downloader and deleter. And I've met nice people off of there, and I've also seen, let me tell you something. I have seen married people on there, and I'm not even kidding. People I know are married, I've seen them on there. And I don't know, you have to have some type of audacity to be on there in a relationship or married. But besides that, yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I will find the type of person I'm looking for on Hinge. I'm Christian. I desire somebody that is Christian and not just like go to church on Sundays Christian, but like you read your word and you study your word. So I met people that are kind of like that, but not a ton, to be honest. But I don't know. Maybe I'll meet a unicorn on there one day. I don't know. But all in all, I turned 30 yesterday. Not much has changed, but a lot has changed, I would say, with me personally, like with myself, with self-growth. I think that has changed more. And I don't know. Looking forward to what 30 will bring. Who knows? Maybe I'll meet somebody tomorrow or a month from now. I don't know. It's up to God. Okay.
Body's falling in love and I'm falling behind.
I grew up in a Christian household, so you already know how that go. And my parents wasn't even super strict on me when I got older. I was strict on myself. You know, I didn't date in high school, middle school. I didn't do anything. I didn't have my first kiss till I was like 19. Like, and the thing they'll tell you is you start feeling like you're not an adult because of social media, and you start like letting the world dictate your movement. And that's what I did. And that's how I lost my virginity, because I was like, you know what, I'm gonna live my best life. I'm tired, like this part, virginity, my sex, it don't matter. Like, I can do what I want to do, you know what I mean? And I just lost my virginity. And I'm not gonna lie to you and be like, oh, I thought it was bad, or I had a bad experience. I didn't have a bad experience, but what I did do was fall away from God, because I was so enamored with, oh, but this is how you be an adult. You get being adult mixed up with worldly living. It's okay to be a late bloomer. God gonna bring you the right person at the right time, because at the end of the day, I shouldn't have lost my virginity to who I did. Even though he's a good guy, it's just like I shouldn't have. You know what I'm saying? I'm too busy trying to chase the Joneses, chase the world, losing my relationship, and it wasn't even worth it. You know what I mean? But it's okay if you a late bloomer. You know what I'm saying? You're not late. You're not a late bloomer because you haven't done worldly things. You are an adult. You are great, and you are a beautiful black woman or man. Period. Or not. Whatever.
Hey guys, I just want to pop up here and talk about late bloomers. So I'm about to get ready to film a YouTube video and I look fabulous. And this just reminded me of how I feel like such a late bloomer. I'm 31 right now. And in my and I love it. And I love every single bit of it, because I feel like finally I'm comfortable in my own skin. I found my own styling. I know what suits me. I know what doesn't. And it used to not be like that at all when I was in my 20s. I was so lost. I didn't know what suited me, and I didn't know what flattered me or what looked bad on me, etc., etc. And I was just a little piece of an anxiety ball. I was not having fun in my 20s. And fun as it is to be young and, you know, 20 and all that, I'm just like so happy with where I am right now, because I finally feel like that girl, you know? I know I'm not that girl, but I feel like it. If you guys know what I mean. Like, I feel so comfortable, not so jittery anymore. I'm not so like, in my head anymore. I'm so sure that there's more people like me out here, you know, like people who just felt so lost in sense of style. Like, I never used to go out in my 20s. I never used to party. I never used to drink in my 20s. But now that I've kind of feel more comfortable and I know how to vibe, I feel like nowadays I'm like into like drink. I don't drink too much, but I mean, like, I want to hang out with people, and that used to not be the case when I was 20. And it's so messed up, guys, you know. And growing up as a fat kid in a very Korean Asian household will do that to you. I have very low self-esteem to the point when I was dating a boyfriend at the time. We were together for like 6 years, and he would always tell me that I look beautiful, and I didn't believe him. I would be like, you're lying, stop lying, I'm not beautiful. I know it's messed up, but now I'm just like, yes, I see what he was all about. I am quite beautiful, I'm quite exquisite, you know. So it just popped into my head, like, I am such a late bloomer. And if you are to like, hey, look at us, you know, look at us blooming and just trying to have fun and take all the advantages and take all the joys of it. So yeah, comment down if you relate.
Yeah, it's taking you longer than your friends to get to where you want to go. You see everybody around you and it seems like they're all passing you by, and life isn't doing the same for you. You're like, why can't I get this thing? Like, why do I not have my degree? I'm 27. Why have I not found my partner? I'm 35. Why do I not have a successful business? I'm 40. You're a late bloomer. The crazy thing is, it wasn't until recently that I actually accepted the fact that I am a late bloomer. This book right here actually helped me believe that and helped me see the value in that. This book right here, shout out to my girlfriend. She let me read it, and it honestly changed my perspective when I read it, because I was so focused on comparing myself to who was around me. I wasn't seeing the results that I wanted to in my life, when in reality, I have a different timeline. Everybody's not going to see the same success when everybody else will see that same success. Just because your friends are 25, 24, and they're seeing more money and they're getting the jobs and the opportunities that you don't have, doesn't mean you won't get it by 28. Doesn't change the fact that you're going to have to wait longer to do some stuff. Because reality check, life is life. You can't compare your life to anybody else's. I mean, you can, just wasting your time. Just making yourself upset, sitting around being angry about some shit that you shouldn't even worry about because you can't control. You can't control when your day is going to come, but you know it is. So just be ready for it when it comes.
You were a late bloomer and you didn't know you were pretty until later on. You probably went through a lot. You're probably still going through a lot. There have probably been situations where you've experienced jealousy, but you just chalk it up as they just don't like me, or we have different personalities. You bring your personality into every situation expecting that same love and care and empathy or whatever else back, and they just don't give it to you. You have probably had men idealize you and compliment you on your quirkiness or think that your awkwardness is cute at first, and then they end up treating you like dog crap. They turn on you, they start belittling you, treating you bad, making fun of you, ignoring you, whatever the case may be, and you're confused as to why this is happening. All of this happens because people realize that your quirkiness, your awkwardness, your empathy, all of those things are indeed genuine. It is not an act for you. You are kind inside and you look good on the outside. And this is going to really trigger people, because a lot of people make assumptions about you when you are attractive. They just assume you've had it good in life. They assume that you're mean, that you've always been the one that has had the power in situations. So when you come in and you don't meet the expectations of who they think that you are, they're going to find it very hard to find something to hate you for, which will make them hate you even more. Late bloomers usually go through periods of life of just feeling super lonely, not being able to make friends, not finding a partner to date, spending a lot of time by themselves, switching out of jobs constantly due to bullying, animosity, whatever. It's like the old life that you had before your glow up and all that superficial stuff is just gone. I got bullied in middle school all the way through high school, never thought I was pretty. But when I graduated high school, it was a different world. But when this is where you have to set boundaries, you're going to have to step into an energy of being very firm with people. Never losing your kindness and your genuinity, but also not giving too much in the beginning so that people have the chance to earn your trust and to earn your warmth. Because then what happens is you bring in all of that love, all of that people pleasing, all of that kindness, everything that you've had inside of you for years and years before that glow up, and they're going to take it and then resent you for it because of how you look. I know this is very harsh to hear, but a lot of people go through this in their life. You're not alone, there's nothing wrong with you, and you are allowed to shine. You are allowed to look amazing, to be amazing, to have a good life. Don't let people take that away from you. Just put your foot down and don't let them walk all over you.
I literally just spent the last 5 minutes hysterically crying, walking back to my apartment. I really don't know what to do anymore. This is like my last leg, and I'm so embarrassed to come on the internet to even talk about this, but I don't know what to do. I've seen a lot of girls who have posted about like their experience of like never being chosen, never being in a relationship, always being alone. And it's like hitting me really hard today where I'm just like exhausted. I also don't drink anymore, and I've had like 2 drinks, so I'm like, that's probably why I'm like really emotional right now. but it's like 80 degrees in Chicago, and it's like another weekend, like every other weekend, where I have like no plans, no one to see, nothing to do. I have to like keep myself busy, and it's just becoming so exhausting and like tiring, especially because like all my friends are in like relationships, so they have their person, like their weekends already sketched out every weekend, and I'm like scrambling to like figure out what am I gonna do. Like, and like if you've been following my content, like I travel alone, and I never feel this way when I'm traveling. Not once have I ever been on the other side of the world and thought, wow, I'm so alone. It's just something so specific about living like in your home city or town or whatever. And I work from home, so I'm at home all days of the week. And then the weekend comes, and it's like I have to figure out how I'm going to spend my weekend. Maybe I'll see my friends, maybe I won't. Like, it's just becoming incredibly hard, incredibly difficult. It's so exhausting. And I just took myself out to dinner. Like, I'm celebrating like a lot of things that I don't have anyone to celebrate or tell about, but I took myself out to like celebrate some wins I've had the past couple of weeks. And for some reason I brought my journal, and I'm journaling, and I'm trying to be occupied because I don't want to be on my phone. And it just made me so sad as I like look around the bar area, and like everybody's with somebody. And then I was like, I want something sweet, so I went up to Whole Foods to like go get a little treat, and again everybody's in the grocery store with somebody. And then I'm walking down the streets back to my apartment, and everybody, obviously they're going out for date night. It's Friday, and it just makes me wonder, like, as a late bloomer specifically, because it's like, okay, being single but you have a dating life, that's one thing, but to like never have anybody, it really hurts like in a whole nother way. And I'm like wondering what I'm doing wrong or why I'm not enough, because I'm gonna be 29 in a couple of months, and I'm just trying to figure out why I'm not like, I know I'm not the beauty standard in the Midwest or in Chicago, but I'm trying to figure out why I can't just meet like one person. Like, I just wrote in my journal, like, I just like wrote like a whole prayer down, because I'm just like trying to figure out, like, I'm trying to be so strong, but I'm so exhausted. Like, I don't know what to do anymore. I don't know how to stay positive anymore. I'm trying so hard. Like, I'm trying so hard to like be positive. Like, okay, I know I'm not gonna have a dating life, that's fine, but it's also like everybody my age is like in that stage in their life where they're getting into relationships or getting into marriages, and they have their person. So I don't have a person, and this is so embarrassing. I really am like doing like a cry out for help to know like how people in this position specifically are like coping, because I need to like figure out how to cope. And I don't want to hear like, you need to learn how to be alone. I've been alone my whole life. I travel the world by myself. I'm doing fine in that area. I have hobbies. I'm learning a new language. I keep myself occupied. Like, I normally don't even drink anymore because it makes me so emotional like this, so I don't drink anymore. I'm trying to meet friends, but it's like everyone my age is in relationships. So I just need to know how y'all are coping and how y'all are making do. I know this time next year I'm like moving out of Chicago, because it's just not, I thought I would find my forever person here, and I feel it in my soul I'm not going to. But also, it's such a drinking heavy city, and it's kind of, you know, it's like 7 months out of the year you're inside in an apartment. So if you don't have a person, it's incredibly lonely. And I'm not doing this to my mental health again. I can't do this again. But I just want to know how y'all are doing it. I'm gearing up to watch another movie, because what else am I gonna do on a Friday night? But I'm exhausted. Yeah.
Get unready with me while I talk about what it's like being a late bloomer in your 20s. My Chicago people, stand up. Who knows? Me and my parents just came back from home, and they bought a big ass thing of Super Donuts. Wow. Anyways, the moment of truth. Taking a hat off after a long day. So I actually thought about this topic because I saw a video from Any Given Sunday. I like Any a lot. Like, she's just iconic. And I thought this was really crazy because I have a lot of conversations with my friends, especially ones that I grew up with, about like who I was as a person growing up. I feel like being super insecure and being kind of displaced from like my culture and people did something really grave to like my confidence and knowing who I was as a person. I was born and raised in Chicago, Illinois, like in the city. And then I ended up moving and going to a different elementary in the suburbs of Chicago. And that just did something to like my little young tiny brain. But when I was in high school, I was at like all-time peak of like insecurity, like a normal teenage girl. And so I could never fathom the fact that like people could be attracted to me and like me a lot. So I always thought about myself, y'all know that movie Duff? I always thought that that was me. Like in my brain, I'm like, I have to work 10 times harder because like I have like this pretty best friend and like she's also really cool and like likable. So like people have to get to know me, but then they have to get to know me for my personality. And I would like present myself as like this really funny, loud girl because I just want to be seen. And I wanted people to get to know me so they can see like she's actually really cool. Like I'm not a shower, I'm a grower. In high school, boys would make like advances on me. I was so insecure and like so in my ways. So I was like, there's no way. Like he's like making fun of me. There's no way. Like these groups of boys are looking at me because like they think I'm cute. I'm like, they're literally talking shit about my hair. They're talking shit about this, talking shit about that. Oh my God, my ankles are probably ashy. Like, girl, I don't know. Also just went in with the Garnier Micellar water, the waterproof one. Y'all know that's the best one. Like mindset is really a crazy, dangerous ass thing. I'm being super lazy right now. Do not judge me. I don't feel like getting up and washing my face. And we're gonna tone the face and get whatever else is on there off with the Ordinary glycolic acid. This is my shit. I put her everywhere on my body, to be real with you. But let me tell you how crazy the universe is. This one time I'm talking about this kid that went to my high school that I thought was really cute. I was in college at this time. And it was when Finsta was like at his height. And I went on his page, right? And it was unlocked. That was unknown of. Like you never saw a person with like a Finsta that was like unlocked. It was always locked. I randomly decided to like click on his page and I see a picture of me. And I was like, the fuck? Like, I don't know what it was. It was like a screenshot either of like my story or something that I had posted before. Either way, it was me. He said, I'm paraphrasing, I don't remember exactly off the top of my dome, but it was something of this sort. He was like, if only she gave me the opportunity to get my heart broken by her. You know how gagged I was? It was when things were starting to come into place that I'm like, let me find out that like the people that I'm attracted to are attracted to me. I go to the comments and one boy who I thought we were like locked in and like really good friends and like he was like the dog, he comments and he's like, good luck with that. Been there and tried that, dog. I was like, I can't even say, I'm not gonna say his name, but I'm like, D, him? He was trying to get on that with me. I thought we were bullying it and cooling it. Like I'm telling you, men making advances on me did not make any sense. Like it flew over my head. All right, we're dry enough. I'm gonna go in with the Caudalie grape water spray just to hydrate my face back up a little bit. I'm gonna go in with a little face concoction that I wanna do right now. Honey Halo Moisturizer. I'm gonna put a tiny bit of that on the back of my hand. 2 drops of the bio oil. Love her to pieces, love her down. Kors Moisturizer. It's donkey milk. I've never heard of such thing. I'm just gonna mix those together. I feel like my under eyes are screaming, or maybe it's just mental. Going in with the ITK Day and Night Duo. Love the nighttime one. It is so thick and just does the goddamn job. You wake up feeling like brand new. Anywho, I have to set the scene for y'all to show you how like this has deeply affected me in my 20s. And it's because I solely believe that like as adults we're walking around just like living in like the consequences of what happened in our childhood. And being a teenager, whether people want to admit it or not, you are a child. So we can see how that can play into like self-confidence and stuff. So I actually never had a boyfriend until I was 23 years old. I had people that I pursued and like had like weird little things with, and I let treat me like shit because I did not understand my worth and how men are actually supposed to treat women that they like. Love is not supposed to be struggling and you only accept it sometimes because you don't know any better. And I'm going in with the Summer Fridays Brown Sugar Lip Balm. So fire. And it's nuts. Because all my friends are like, at least on their 5th or 4th relationship. And I'm like, just turned 24 and just got out of my first relationship in my life. But I don't necessarily feel like I did anything wrong or whatnot. But I feel like when you don't necessarily like love yourself enough or put yourself first enough, like in a selfish but good selfish type of way, You oftentimes let people treat you any type of fucking way, especially if you don't advocate for yourself. And I'm gonna go in with the Ordinary's multi-peptide eyebrow and lash serum. You need to grow these things out. These are also mistakes done in high school and middle school. I just put an excessive amount of this on and just go to bed praying every night that it actually works. But I really don't know what to think about it other than being like, everything happens in divine timing. But in my opinion, I really do think kids shouldn't be dating anyways. And like I said before, teenagers are children. Better yet, having sex. That's a whole nother story time. All I could say is love yourself. Take your time. Your time is the best time. There's no such thing as a life that's better than yours. Mr. Germain said himself. Okay? Everything happens when it's supposed to happen. And most importantly, until those things happen for you, love on yourself. Date yourself. So when someone comes in and try to tell you something about yourself, you know yourself best and you won't even be pressed about it. And I digress. Thank you for watching. The face is ready for bed and I cuddle it with my badass dog. Okay? I'll see you guys later.
What I'm starting to realize is that if you're a late bloomer, if you consider yourself a late bloomer, it just means that you have not only a bigger purpose than you know, but you have a purpose that's going to stick for lifetimes. You're here to change the world as a whole. See, for a lot of us, if we were pushed into our purpose before we were really ready, we would have let people distract us.
I tell people this shit all the time because folks would be like, oh man, I wish I did this when I was younger. Oh, I wish I had this when I was younger. No, the fuck you don't. Because I used to say the same dumbass shit. And as much as I don't fuck with Steve Harvey, when he was on Club Shay Shay, he said something that resonated with me like a motherfucker. He said, if I was at this level in my 20s, meaning if he was at the success level that he is now, when he was fucking 30 years younger, 40 years younger, he would have used his powers for pure evil. And you know what's fucked up? I would have did the same exact shit. If I had all the things that I'm currently working on in my head and physically to have in real life, if I had all of that from the money, the car, the lifestyle, the situation, the resources, at this age, I was 19 years old when I took this picture. Huh? I was 19 years old. Just graduated high school. Fresh out of fucking high school. Thug the fuck out. What? And if I had all of this shit at this age, I would have destroyed the planet. The solar system would not have been ready for the magnitude of shit that I was gonna bring if I had all of that shit. But I was immature as fuck. I was hanging around dumbass people. I was doing stupid ass shit. My head was all fucked up. I just couldn't do it. But now that I'm here, this great skin having, handsome Mario hat wearing, sometime Patara wearing motherfucker that comes on here and spreads the gospel of self-belief and determination and completion when it comes to life and all of that shit. Now that I'm this version of me, you give me all that shit, man, everybody gonna eat, huh? The world gonna be safe. I'll protect everybody from the bullshit. Well, I ain't gonna stretch that far cause fuck some of y'all. Nah, just kidding. But in all seriousness, just because you're not at the level that you would like to be at, or you wish you were at the specific level 10, 20 years ago, that does not matter. That shit don't fucking matter. Sometimes you need to gain the maturity, the responsibility, the responsible nature, I should say, and the wherewithal and the knowledge of how to move in certain spaces before you are given all of these things, before you can actually deal with all of this shit. Because I'm telling you, I would have destroyed something had I had access to all that shit back there because I was too immature. I was a fucking idiot. Now I'm not. So don't beat yourself up. Just stay on the grind, stay on your path, and eventually you'll get where the fuck you're trying to get. Huh? And where I'm trying to get is you to check out this YouTube channel. We thugged out. I think I got more subscribers than that right now. Hey man, we on the grind for 2,500 subscribers, man. Go ahead and check out the YouTube. Link is in the bio. Ignore the GoFundMe. Go straight to the YouTube and you will be straight. Go ahead, check your boy out, goddammit. Shit.
At 35 is that my sister passed away at the age of 39 from sickle cell anemia. And losing her, who was really in a position where there really wasn't much she could do. She was a sick person. She had been sick her entire life. She had never gotten married or had children, and that's something she was lamenting over in the end. But again, it was really out of her control. She didn't ask to be sick. She just was. So that woke me up because I said to myself, I'm able-bodied, right? I can turn my life around. So I needed major dental reconstruction, and I finally got it done. So I got my premolars removed. I got braces. I took styling lessons, I took etiquette lessons, I finished my Hindi lessons, and I went to therapy because I had a lot of grief and things to deal with. And I didn't know what the outcome would be, but I said I have to live intentionally on purpose for myself to be my best self, because I not only owe this to myself, I owe this to my sister who lost her life at 39 years young, and there was just nothing she could do about it. So I do feel like if we are healthy in mind and body, and we're alive and well, there's so much that we can overcome. There's so much that we can change. Now for me, that did turn into me meeting my husband at 37, getting married at 38, having a baby at 39, becoming a homeowner at 40, starting this TikTok at 41. And when I posted that video, I really was not expecting the overwhelming response. But as I'm reading the comments, and I'm going to be responding to a few of them, I just couldn't help but remember where I was and how far I've come. And I am just so grateful and honored that I can give some hope to my ladies out there. So I'm wishing you all the best, and you're going to see a few more of these videos. I'm responding to comments now. I have made peace with the fact that I will never catch up. I will never be in a position where other people in their 40s are. Mainly because I made some bad decisions when I was younger. I chose the wrong degree for college because I didn't know what I wanted to do with my life at 17. What am I going to do with a hotel and resort management degree that I'm still paying for? You don't even need a degree to work in that field. But I digress. And my parents, bless them, they had a very limited worldview because they were so hyper-focused on their religion to the point of cult-like fascination that when their little rambunctious, outgoing little kid comes to them and says, I want to do this and I want to do that, it was always, no, we can't do that because of our religion. No, we don't have the money. No this and no that. And I'm only sharing that with you for context, not to put any blame on my parents, but it didn't give me the opportunity in the space that I needed to get a head start and start on my dreams and goals in my childhood. I had to do that later as a whole grown adult. As a result, I do not get married until I'm 38. I don't have a baby until I'm 39. I don't become a homeowner until I'm 40. I launched this TikTok at 41 and I'm 43 now. How can I be where other people are? I'm not going to have as much equity in my house as other people. I just bought this thing in 2021. I'm not going to be driving the kinds of cars that they have or have as much saved in a retirement account as other people because simply the way my life trajectory was, I had a lot not just to learn, but to unlearn. So here I am now, and I've given up on the notion of catching up to anybody because that's putting me behind people because I am comparing myself and where I am to the accomplishments of others, which in turn will steal my joy. So I don't want to catch up anymore because I have dropped out of the race with other people. I'm not even there with them and they're not even there with me, okay? I am in my own lane. I am running my own race and this feels good. Everything that I have came to me when I was supposed to get it. And now I'm building the dream career, so to speak, which is being a housewife and pursuing my passion projects, something that I always wanted to do, but was too afraid to say so because I wanted to catch up and be like other people. I wanted to say I had that degree and I wanted to say I did this and say I did that. Take yourself out of the race. Do yourself this favor. Compare yourself to how close you are to the things that you want and not based on how fast someone else got there.
What I'm starting to realize is that if you're a late bloomer, if you consider yourself a late bloomer, it just means that you have not only a bigger purpose than you know, but you have a purpose that's going to stick for lifetimes. You're here to change the world as a whole. See, for a lot of us, if we were pushed into our purpose before we were really ready, we would have let people distract us. We would have let people get into our minds and not stay on the purpose that we're destined to have. And so, yeah, it may take a little longer for us to release the insecurities that hold us back. It may take a little longer for us to ground our identity and find what it is that truly turns us on, not sexually, but you know what I mean, what we're truly passionate about, like what sets our heart on fire, right? God, the universe, your higher self won't put you in a situation that you cannot maintain. And so for us to be leaders, for us to live a life of fulfillment and purpose, we have to be ready. We have to be ready to stay. What is it? Stay ready to be, whatever it is. Y'all know what I'm talking about. We're being prepared for a lifetime of success. So don't be worried about, oh, I'm a late bloomer. Oh, I'm 30, I'm 40, I'm 50. It doesn't matter. Get on your purpose.
Seeing other people flourish while you're in a waiting season is hard. It doesn't matter how much we talk about how important it is to not compare. A lot of us still do it. And if you feel like a late bloomer, it's very hard because you've likely been in multiple situations where you are repeatedly clapping for other people. And as genuine as you are in your celebration of them, there is also this grand curiosity that you have for yourself. When is it going to be my turn? When is it going to be my moment? When am I going to have something happen that I feel is a cause for celebration? And so it can be discouraging sometimes if there's a lot that you're working toward and it seems that the desires you have continually get delayed or deferred. What I will tell you is how important it is to not allow your heart to become bitter when it seems like your dreams are turning sour. And that's such an important thing to keep at the forefront of your mind, because maintaining patience and persevering through it is hard. I do grow impatient sometimes. I do wonder when it's going to happen. And sometimes I think that I'm on the path and I think I'm headed there, and then boom, a detour, and then boom, the scenic route. And so I think I'm choosing to view the scenic route as a privilege instead of a punishment. And I hope that encourages you.
I totally get what it's like to be a late bloomer. I've been kind of a late bloomer in pretty much every area of my life. And I think a lot of it comes from being sheltered, honestly. And it's not like I blame my parents or anything, but I've always felt like I was the last one to figure things out. You know, everyone around me seemed to have their stuff together way earlier. But the thing is, even my friend group, we're all kind of late bloomers. None of us were the first to do anything, so it's not just me. But right now, I swear I feel like I'm the ultimate late bloomer in the world. It's like everyone else has their life sorted out and I'm still over here trying to figure it all out. It's like I'm still in a figuring out stage for decades. But that's cool, you can't rush the process. It's like there's no instruction manual for life. Your parents can guide you, sure, but at some point you just gotta go figure it out on your own. Honestly, I've seen so many people with their lives all mapped out already, but sometimes I feel like, damn, why am I behind? But then I have to remind myself, maybe that's just how it's supposed to be. Maybe this is just how it's meant to go down. Just because you're a late bloomer doesn't mean you won't get to where you want to go. It's like, yeah, maybe I'm not where everyone else is, but it doesn't mean that I won't get there in my own time. It's just a different timeline. Life is not a race. Just because others seems to be ahead doesn't mean you won't have something awesome waiting for you too. Being late in life doesn't mean you won't live the life you dream about or that you're behind in any way. It's all about when things fall into place for you. You gotta trust that. Honestly, while you're in this late blooming phase, it's the perfect time to figure out what you want to do with your life. Don't just sit around waiting for stuff to happen. You can all wait for things to magically fall into place. You got to take charge and plan out what you want. You don't know exactly what the future holds, but you can at least plan your next steps, So that's how I feel. Even if you're a little late to that party, it's not the end of the world. It just means that you're taking your own path, and that's totally okay. Thank you for watching my video. I hope you like, subscribe for more, and I'll see you next time.
I got confidence and I work hard for this. Waited way too long for this. Now